Good morning, my loves, from myself and from Finn. He's sending his regards for the day. He's very vocal this morning. Don't know, just go with the flow. It is a beautiful Thursday morning here at the lake. It's almost 5 o'clock. It's obviously still dark out. It's going to be a glorious day. Why? Why not? It's a decision. Why not make it a good decision? Why not make it a good day? Yesterday, and for a few days, we've kind of been touching on clapping for yourself. It's okay to clap for yourself, to be proud of yourself. Don't be boastful, but it's okay to be proud of yourself and clap for yourself. Today, we're going to talk about children. Teaching your children to clap for others. That is so important because it's one of the building blocks. It starts young. Kids live what they learn. And if a child is raised in an environment, in a house, where if a brother, a sister, or somebody gets an award, they win the ball game, they get a good grade on a book report, whatever, and everybody should be really proud of them. You did the best job. I am so proud of you. I know you really worked hard. Or are they going to hear, you could have done better? Well, that's okay, but you could have gone for extra credit. You could have won the game a little sooner. You could have done this. You could have done that. Just undermining them a little bit or being resentful. They got an A and their brother got a B or their sister got a B. That's okay. Don't be resentful. And don't play your kids against each other. Don't tell a child, well, your brother got this mark, your sister got this mark. Why can't you do that? They're so good at math. Why can't you be good at math? Why can't you be like them? Because everybody's an individual. Not everybody is good at everything. Allow your child to be who they are. Not everybody can fix a car. I can put gas in my car, and I know where to go to have air put in my tires and to have my oil changed. That's it. I know nothing about vehicles. I don't need to. I know what I'm good at. That's not one of them. I don't have a problem with that. You don't have to be great at everything. Some people strive to, and okay, but don't pressure yourself. Don't pressure your kids to be great at everything, because not everybody is. But please teach them. It's okay to be proud of themselves, to be proud that they got an A, they got a B, they passed the spelling test, whatever. It's great to be proud of that. Don't boast. Don't rub it in other people's faces, that you got an A and they got a B, a C, or even worse. Don't do that. Be encouraging and be nurturing. Teach your kids to lift each other up. Instead of saying, I got an A, you got a C, ha ha ha, to say, I bet you can do better next time. Can I help you study? Can I quiz you on the spelling words or whatever? Help them learn to help others. Because look at your home life, at your life. You may have a spouse, you may not. You may be a single parent. I was. And that's fine. So look at your home life and look at your relationship with your child. Okay. Is it loving? Is it nurturing? Do you lift your child up and brag on them when they do well and say, okay, you can do better, when they don't do quite as well? Your child comes home to a loving, nurturing home. Do you give your child hugs and kisses and tell them you love them to the moon and back? Do you use your words to tell your child how important they are to you? Because, sweetheart, not every child comes home to that. Some kids come home to physical violence. Some kids come home to being molested in the middle of the night. Some kids come home to no one being home. Maybe mom, dad had been gone for a while. They're just doing the best they can. Maybe they go to the neighbors to eat. Maybe there's some peanut butter in the cabinet. They don't know when mom and dad's coming home. They know not to call the police because then they end up in social services, and they don't want CPS involved because mom and dad will get in trouble. The first thing a child's going to do is cover the parent's ass, believe it or not. They're not as worried about, they don't want to go into foster care as they are I don't want mom and dad to get in trouble. Not every child comes home to a loving, nurturing home. Some kids come home to foster care. Some foster situations are wonderful. I know of several that are absolutely beautiful. They are just, you wouldn't know. I mean, there's so much love in that house. You would never know who's a foster child and who's an adopted child and who's the biological child. It's just a beautiful family. And then there are others that the child is looked at as a commodity. They're looked at as a paycheck. The parents, the foster parents, cash those checks, but the foster kids get just enough to get by. There are no hugs. There are no "I'm proud of you." There's no nurturing. So it's up to the rest of us to ensure those kids get the loving support they deserve. If you go to pick your kid up at school and you see your child talking to a bunch of kids and they're kind of walking over to the car and they're talking about a grade they got or some, who won the baseball game or whatever, brag on all of them. Somebody may not ever hear that unless it comes from you. Tell them you're proud of them. Compliment, something. Be kind. Be gracious. Lift them up. Teach your child to lift them up. I remember eons ago when I was in elementary school, there was a child in my elementary school, you pretty much went through, it was kindergarten through 6th grade back then, with all the same kids. And there were several families that were very, very poor. And one stands out, and of course I'm not going to say her name, but she was just horrifically poor. And I know she and her brother shared a bed, her little brother, and he was a bedwetter, and so she would come to school smelling. She never had lunch. It was just really, really sad. And yeah, a lot of kids picked on her, said horrible things about her. And I remember her going in the coat closet and crying. And the teachers back then, I'm trying to think, our kindergarten teacher, our 1st grade teacher were very nurturing, would help her get cleaned up and, do the best they could. But some of the others, it's not their problem and they could care less. Now, this is back in the early 60s. And it was just sad. And I remember my mom telling me, they're for the grace of God. You don't know what's going on in their whole household. You be kind to her. No matter what happens, you be kind to her. You say nice thing to her. You don't tease her because you don't know what's going on. I later found out what was going on. And it was some really bad things going on in that house. Very sad, bad things that shouldn't happen to a little girl that's 6 or 7 years old. And she was just trying to hold it together every day and make it through school. Not everybody was nice to her. Most were, but not everybody. And it was just very, very sad. Now, I have no idea what ever happened to her. We moved when I was going to 7th grade. No idea. But I really hope I'm going to yawn. Sorry. That she was able to find the love and the nurturing and just everything that she needed in life and get the education she needed so she could better herself and get out of that. Because I've thought about her so many times through the years. I really hope people were kind to her as she grew up because she deserved it. Every child, regardless of their gender, regardless of the color of their skin, the color of their hair, the color of their eyes, who they pray to, how they pray, who their parents vote for, regardless, every child deserves to feel love and appreciated and to be proud of themselves and to know that someone out there cares about them. Someone out there thinks highly of them, supports them, is in their corner. And so many kids will never experience that. So let's do what we can to teach our kids to be a friend, if that makes sense. And as adults, we should do the same thing. I'm sure in just about every office, not ours, not that, excuse me, not that I can think of. I mean, everybody's pretty on the same, to the best of my knowledge, everybody's doing okay. But I personally make a point of everybody that I encounter, I speak to, I compliment, I say something nice about them. My office door is open to everybody. They can always come to me with a problem, an issue, a worry, a concern. They know it's not going to go any further than my office. I'll do anything I can to help them because I'm in their corner. Everybody needs to feel that. Everybody, every child, every adult needs to feel safe. Safe at work, safe at school, safe at home. Do what you can to make that happen in your world and in the world of others. Because, sweetheart, we're all worthy.